I was there in the winter of '64.
It's Sunday, October 26th, and you've tuned into the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 and 6. Right now, you're listening to WePT Radio, proudly produced in partnership with Rees Across America Radio. Together, we share a mission. Remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach the future generations the value of freedom. A freedom secured by the brave men and women who have worn our nation's uniform. Stay tuned for We Got Your 6 and 6. Now playing on WePT Radio, Scotty Hastings, featuring Lee Rice and Dolly Parton. Till the last shot's fired.
Prayer for peace for every fallen sun. Set my spirit free. Let me lay down my gun. Sweet Mother Mary, I'm so tired, but I can't come home till the last shot's fired. I was there.
Left your left, hey. Left right your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Tom Cruise, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 and 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left your left, hey. Left right your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Hey, it's Andrea Eichmann here, and I am with Mark Peterson and Frank DeMith. We are here with the People's Patriot Project for our Sunday night show that we call We Got Your 6 at 6. This is where we share our guest and an artist, and then sometimes the good and not so good things that are happening in our world. This week, we are hosting some amazing discussion with our guest, JT Thompson. Before we get started, I would like to thank our amazing sponsors. We've got Catch 22 with Derek Iozio, the Godfather, who lives in-house right here with the People's Patriot Project, but of course has his own thing on Sunday nights. Then we have Operation Texas Strong with Peggy and Bobby Kretzinger. They are down in Texas, and they are putting together a world where no veteran goes homeless. They accept new and used campers, RVs, pull-behinds, and they have a campground to put those and put in veterans who don't have a home. Then it's the Boho Hobos Hideaway with Lauren Iozio. This is in Livingston, Texas. I have a link for you. You can find it on Airbnb, but it is an amazing little place to stay, to get away, and to hide away, as the name says. Check it out if you have a minute. To all of our sponsors, our guests, and our listeners, thank you. And before we dive into this week's show, please take a moment to join us for this amazing version of the Star Spangled Banner with Dave Bray, USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to stand if you are capable of standing. Out of honor and respect, please remove your covers and prepare yourself how you need to show your greatest gratitude for the amazing freedoms and liberties we have achieved under one of the most powerful symbols in the world. Please cast your attention as we respect our old glory.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
You are here for We Got Your 6 and 6. Let's roll. Bam, 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 bam. My noisemaker's not working, so I use my noisemaker. And I don't know why. That's recycling all there by yourself. We put the pretty people up on JT. That's not what we do, but that's what we'll say we do.
That's fitting. It works.
It's going to be one of those shows tonight, folks.
Oh, here it is.
We get started. Godfather, good to have you. We kiss the ring, brother. We get to start with a preview of Scotty Hastings out of Nashville. We get to listen to Dom Kurz do our intro. We get to listen to Dave Bray do the national anthem for our show. And we've got JT Thompson of JT and the Gunslingers on tonight. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. We are amongst royalty in the music world when it comes to veterans and first responders. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, we've followed JT for a number of years. We're blessed because he's a Minnesotanite. We went down and shook JT's hand. Gosh, I bet it was 8 years ago now, saying, this is something we're doing. This is the direction we're going. Do you want to be part of it? And JT has JT stuff to do, man. He's a busy man. But we're going to hear about all that stuff and all the amazing things he's doing and get to hear his music tonight. So it's so good to have you here tonight, JT.
It's great to be here. Just right now, I didn't know you could do StreamYard. I can stream on my social media accounts.
That was us doing terrible. We were too busy yapping at the beginning of the show to say, hey, JT, take time to send this out to your peeps. So, I mean, you can do that. You may dip out of here. We got a couple of things to do right now, just to get the show set, ready to roll. And so if it bumps you out, it'll say sign up. It's not really a sign up.
I got that. I got that squared
You
away
already did
during
it.
the intro.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it up yet.
Yeah, I'm working. I got a couple more things to do, it looks like.
Okay, perfect. Oh, that's why you bumped out during the intro. I get it now.
Yeah, that's why I bumped out during the intro.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. All good. All things are good. First thing, we are a working group, folks. We do stuff. We get involved. We will ask you to be involved. We will ask you to do things. One of the things is we right off the bat in our show are going to commit to taking care of our brothers and sisters out there in the world. And I get it. It's easier to do nothing. But also when you do nothing, the result of doing nothing, this is weird, is nothing. There's no result. So what I need everyone to do, we're going to jump into our call to action real quick. Grab your phone, open into your text threads, type in just checking or just thinking about you. It doesn't matter. It's your story. It's what you want to do. Our segment right now is called Check Your Six. So it makes sense to do checking on you, right? So the first thing you got to do in your check your six is check yourself. Make sure you've been through the stuff. You've been doing your thing. Do your battle checks. Make sure you got no goozing liquids coming from any orifices. You got to take care of that. And you know what? If you got some stuff, you got to take care of it. Again, because if you don't do anything, the result is nothing. So if you're hurting, emotionally, mentally, if you are not in the space, your mind's not clicking right, that stuff happens. Reach out to a brother, reach out to a sister, reach out to an organization, reach out to WP3. Text us during the show, 763-238-5971. We'll get it up there real quick. If you are struggling, let us know, because here's the deal. We're not here to fix you. We're not here to carry you either. I'll let you know that right now. But we will walk beside you and we'll work through all the pieces with you. So that's the first part of check 6. Second part is type in that part, checking with you, cut and paste it into 6 different conversations. This is a novel idea, folks. Check 6. You're going to reach out to 6 people on your contact list and say, hey, how you doing? How's life? Where you at? You good? Challenge yourself on some of those. We always kind of bow away from leadership and say, they're on their own. That's why they made the big bucks. Reach out to your leadership. They're the ones that carried the weight on a lot of stuff. Yeah, they held you over during formation and stuff like that, and it probably didn't make a lot of sense to you at the time, but they're crossing T's and dotting I's, and they got to drink their coffee too at some point. So that's one of those things. And then there might be that conversation or relationship that got sideways at some point. Might be your fault, might be their fault. It's tough. Eat a spoonful of pride. Say, hey, you know what? It's been a minute. Maybe you neglected the relationship and haven't been there for a minute. This is the perfect time. Surprise! It's not Merry Christmas. It's not Happy New Year. It's I'm just thinking about you, man. So get that done. JT Thompson, who are you?
Me?
Yeah, who are you?
I'm just a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude.
Tell us about your service.
Former Army Ranger at 1st Ranger Battalion. Handful of overseas tours. I was also with the Minnesota National Guard and 2 of the 135. Other than that, full-time musician up until COVID. Now I build muscle cars and going to start bringing the music back here now that I found my love back into it. Other than that, always pro-veteran and first responders. Not enough recognition. There's never enough. It's knowing what we go through over there. And even the guys that have never been to war, there is a certain trauma related to just being in the military that is unique specifically to veterans. And first responders, I couldn't do the job. I really, honestly, if I was a cop, for one, that would not be good for anybody. 2, what first responders like EMTs and that have to put up with and see, it's just some nasty, gross shit that I don't want to deal with. Other than that, is going to be on the ballot for lieutenant governor here next year of the great state of Minnesota, and try to right a sinking ship and bail out the water, get the bilge pumps going.
Well, that's exciting for me. I'm going to let you know that just because there's someone that we know. Andrea and I get to work in that area quite a bit with our job as educators, and not only educators, but union leadership in the state and national. It's exciting to see people we know get involved. Now, here's the other part, folks. We don't get into the political conversation as political as we are. It's a tough nuance to traverse, only in the fact that we got people on both sides of the aisle when it comes to helping veterans and first responders. And we don't want to cross. I mean, reality is we need to do better as a whole to have conversations in the middle and follow through on what our words are, and not trying to accommodate special interest groups and line other people's pockets and such like that. And this is where we get into trouble, because we all have opinions on it, and it is what it is. And I'm not saying any administration is doing that. I'm just saying this is where we're at, and we can do better. I love the candidness that JT you have in realizing your limits. I know JT, not deep, close, and heart to heart. There's no cuddling or anything like that that's happened yet. We've tried. It just doesn't work out. And I know JT's got a little fire side to him, which is a good thing. But he also knows when his words are for public consumption and not. And so you might go to JT's Facebook page if he lets you on his page, and you might look at it and be like, that is funny, but I can't do that. And that's what the great part about social media is that people get to do that. And JT doesn't blather it out in the world like publicly. He just, hey, this is where I stand. This is what I believe in here. This is where we go. Well, that's our first segment. That's how fast that went. That's not supposed to be that fast. We're supposed to have another guest on tonight. We stuff happens. They're not here. Is what it is, and we just move forward every weekend. And JT, do you happen to have any idea what episode you are on tonight for WP3?
276.
Oh my gosh, you win. Ding, ding, ding. You're an Intel guy, aren't you?
Sorry. Someone's calling you out.
I just pay attention to shit. Yes, Jason, I have. No, I don't. I don't have a filter. Never mind.
You've done great so far. I mean, we've only
Peterson.
got to report Reason Across America 2 swear words, but that's not a big deal. It's
Well, like I told Andrea earlier, one of my Ranger buddies is on the board out in Baltimore, Dan Mead, and if he can do it, I can do it.
True.
You can do it.
True.
You can do it. Oh,
I
good.
can be tactful and not so Ranger-ish, I guess would be the correct term.
I think that's a waste. That's a waste of good skill set. Just so you know, it's a long distance connection. But I'd like to put it out there because I'm a proud papa. My young man that graduated from my home into the world of the military got to stand on rocks down there for the 1st Battalion as a rasper during the little season of COVID, which absolutely wrecked every part of anything he tried to get done, only because they yanked everyone from the rocks and put them into bases all over the country, and he never got to do his RASP contract, which kind of breaks my heart for him. But we got a rasper in the house right now, JT Thompson.
Well, back in my day, it was called RIP.
Sure.
I'm old. I showed one of my Ranger buddies, we have our own motorcycle club, showed him a photo of one of my buddies in BDUs by a Blackhawk. He goes, "How was the Civil War?"
Oh.
It's like, oh, man. I was like, ooh, that's brutal. That hurts. But I get it. I never expected to last till I was 26 was my life expectancy in my mind. Now here I am 21 years past that going, oh, I need a new 5-year plan.
How did your experience in the military prepare you for what you're doing right now, JT?
I guess I would have to say that the way it prepared me was that adversity's temporary. As long as you keep moving forward, as long as it's like a road march. You're on it. We used to do 30-mile road marches, and in the Georgia heat and the Georgia sand, when you think you want to give up, quit, and fall out, and probably get released for standards to another regular Army unit instead of being in 75th Ranger Regiment, you just kept rangering and putting a foot forward. Some of the things I've done, I built a vehicle that's going to be selling this January, Meekum, this upcoming January, for Hard Rock Charlie Foundation, which is a Ranger foundation from old platoon sergeants and Ranger buddies I just started up. We're giving proceeds to that. And I went a year without a paycheck to build that thing. And anytime I was at the end of my rope where I was just going to call the game on account of rain, basically, my Ranger buddy Nason just reminded me to keep moving forward, one foot in front of the other, just like you're on that 30-mile road march. So in any aspect of life, discomfort is temporary. Struggle is temporary as long as you are proactive in ending that struggle and don't give up. Once you give up, all bets are off. You're screwed.
It's that do nothing attitude. It's the result of doing nothing is nothing.
Yep, absolutely.
And I think we just get so tied up into the verbiages of our world, and the verbiages. There's always an easy out, folks. There's always an easy way. Is it easy way, or is it just the way that just it's the quiet way? I think some people like the quiet way either. Yes, Jason. I love it. This is literally something I teach my students on a daily. How do you eat an elephant? And literally, if your goal is to looking at that thing and go after it, it's got to be done. No, it's one bite at a time.
An elephant.
Oh, is this time? Did you get to do it?
No, that don't count.
Oh. Frank has been dying to tell us his elephant story, but he said we have to bring a clown on.
Or at least someone from the circus or carnival. I mean, it's not as funny unless you have someone who's worked in it or stepped in it.
JT, have you ever worked at a circus?
The Army counts as a circus.
There's moments, isn't there? There are definitely moments.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You're close. You're close.
Circus.
I gotta keep adjusting myself.
Oh,
these chairs that I got in my study belong to Tom Clancy. At one point in time,
oh,
he had
fancy guy.
And he must have had a much larger caboose than me, because if I sit here too long, this chair just kind of swallows me.
There you go.
JT, what's your PT like these days? You out running, you out doing your push-ups, you out doing that stuff?
Mostly just lifting, and I do have a goal of doing an Ironman before I'm 50 years old, so I got 3 years. I start training tomorrow, so my PT is going to be a giant pain in my ass. I never liked running. I was a 220-pound Army Ranger. My 2 mile time for the PT test back then was 13 minutes, and that was extremely slow for an Army Ranger. But I could run, march, swim, and do all the other stuff at a high standard. Push-ups, sit-ups were never an issue for me, but yeah, so tomorrow I've decided is day one of do one last really hardcore Ranger type of thing before I can't anymore.
There was just a story. So this young fella next to me, I suppose it should point that way because I always have it wrong. Do I have it right tonight?
Yeah, you're right now.
Yeah, well, in real life he's that way, but he just got done doing a half marathon last weekend. Which is not, and I told him, you're not that big of a deal, Frank. There's an 86-year-old woman that just completed the Ironman last week, which is ridiculous. I am so achy and hurty and just it's like, no. And I'm going to say it's an excuse. Yes, 100% excuse. I'm not eating elephant on this one, but it's the 20 plus years of playing all levels of football. It was working on the howitzer for 15 years. It was throwing camel bags up over my head when no one else could do because I could do it. I don't want to move any more than I have to these days. My back hurts, my brain hurts, and I just went through one of the most daunting experiences of my life. I scraped the popcorn off the ceiling of my house. It's like the worst thing I could have ever. I've had white boogers for 3 weeks, white stuff coming out of places I don't want to tell anyone about. Anyway, all right, I'm done with that one too.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
JT, let's get to one of your songs, brother.
All right.
Which one do you want to do?
Start off with we just released that live version of "She's Everything," which will be the first radio single off the new album coming out this spring. We're gonna get to recording here in the next month or so, and then we're gonna release the radio single "She's Everything," the studio version, and rock and roll from there.
All right. This is JT Thompson with JT and the Gunslingers. She's Everything.
'Cause You ever walk through this town? You ever just look around? Not much happens in the day-to-day. Something that everybody knows when she comes and when she goes. If they see you, you can hear them say, she's as wild as a band of Mustangs, running across the Great Plains. She's as free as the wind blowing through the trees. Just one look and you will know. Her blue eyes show that gypsy soul. She's stronger than a double shot of whiskey. She's everything you're ever gonna need. She's got that long chestnut hair. Don't worry guys, it's okay to stay. You better know she's done playing games. Tired of all the little boys running around just making noise. She wants a man that don't act that way. She's as wild as a band of Mustangs, running across the Great Plains. She's as free as the wind blowing through the trees. Just one look and you will know. Her blue eyes show that gypsy soul. She's stronger than a double shot of whiskey. She's everything you're ever gonna need. She's as wild as a band of Mustangs, running across the Great Plains. She's as free as the wind blowing through the trees. Just one look and you will know. Her blue eyes show that gypsy soul. She's stronger than a double shot of whiskey. She's as wild as a band of Mustangs, running across the Great Plains. She's as free as the wind blowing through the trees. Just one look and you will know. Her blue eyes show that gypsy soul. She's stronger than a double shot of whiskey. She's everything you're ever gonna need. Yeah, she's everything. Yeah, she's everything.
You're still muted, dude. Sorry.
Good. I can sit there and say and F it up all day long, and then I can just sit there and say, hey, you know, it's because my mic was on. That's how. That is JT and the Gunslingers with She's Everything. What I've done is I always say JT Thompson and the Gunslingers, and it's not JT Thompson and the Gunslingers. It's JT and the Gunslingers. So I always mess that up, and I apologize, brother.
It's potato, man. It's the same thing.
Well, there's a brand there, and if you talk to Mark Peterson about branding,
oh boy,
there's not a lot of movement to change things unless
fair
it's
enough.
Conversation and blah 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 blah. You know what's really fun? That song is when you're sitting in a local community park that's got about 1,500 people standing around, dancing, having a little local beverage, eating some food from food trucks, and a beautiful summer's night, and She's Everything comes on, and everyone gets it. It's a great community song. And it sounds weird because it's just She's Everything, but just the rhythm, the drive, the whole song, I loved it. We watched JT down in, I won't remember the community, but it was for the Beyond Yellow Ribbon event down next to Eichmann. What community was that, Eichmann?
Rosemount.
Rosemount, yeah.
Yep. That was for the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
Well, and then we got Watchy out there at Granite Falls, which was also amazing. I've never seen so many guys willing to take their clothes off at some kind of music event. That was really weird for me.
Well, that's what the funny thing. Anybody that's ever in a relationship with me never has to worry because most of our groupies are just a bunch of dudes that look like us.
Do you want to shout out your band members real quick?
Always Todd Owen on lead guitar. He's a small business owner here in Rochester. Jeff Stewart on drums. He's living out of River Grove Heights. And by day, he is a computer programmer, I believe. Does something crazy with that. He's really smart cookie. And then obviously my bass player, Jimmy Riot, who has been to the top of the mountain as far as music. He's been on every late night talk show playing bass. And now he's spending his latter years with the Gunslingers, and I really appreciate his talent.
He's talented.
Yeah. Super talented. The talented of all talents. I mean, fun to watch. You guys have a special knack when you show up to an event. I think Granite Falls is a prime example because you have your original music and people may not be as familiar with your original music. I want to push your original music. I love your stuff. But when people show up to an event, they just want to have a good time. And you know what? When they're familiar with their surrounding, when they're familiar with the noise, they have a good time. And I mean, like we've literally sat there and witnessed it. And we've watched bands, force their content. This isn't JT, but force their content on people. And they're just like, you get the milling, you get the conversation. They get to hear your three good songs. And then JT comes in and he says, let's hit him with the classics. Boom. There we go.
Well, that's what you have to do. I mean, obviously I didn't get into this business to be the best bar band, cover band in the upper Midwest. I have aspirations of being a songwriter, and before COVID, doing a little more on stage, but as I get older, I'd rather just sell my songs and get the mailbox money from the royalties. But Charlie Starr from Blackberry Smoke, if anybody's ever familiar with that band, great Southern rock band. We were on his bus outside of First Ave about 10 years ago, I suppose. I was talking to him about it because it's hard. It's a hard line to walk where you want people to listen to what you have to say with your music. But also, I was a full-time musician. I had no other source of income. I had to take every show that came down the pike. We were doing 50 shows every 4 months. And you can't sustain a 4-hour show on just originals when you're an upstart band like that. So you have to walk the line of music I like, and then you have to entertain. Because once you draw them in, you give them what they want, they start asking about your songs, or you play your song, they'll be like, who is that by? You have it at the merch table. You have download cards. You have CDs. You have vinyl. It's all means to an end, but the whole point is to have fun with it and not be so damn serious all the time. Like, I tell you, I get sick of playing Sweet Home Alabama. Tired of it. A million cover bands have done it 9 million times. But you know what we end up doing? Playing Sweet Home Alabama. Because why not? I mean, we got to, as serious musicians, the thing is, yeah, it's our art, but we also got to get over ourselves. And just, you're there to entertain also. Not be a dick because they don't want to hear a song they've never heard from you who they don't know.
Is that a path, and I'm not trying to rib you here or jab you, is that a path of growth you've had to go through as a musician?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. It's, I mean, we have our shows that we can play where we push our content. Like, I mean, God, we have a laundry list of people we opened up for, like Travis Tritt, Montgomery Gentry, John Michael Montgomery. Those shows, that is stacked full of our originals and music we like, and we tear it up. Now, if you're playing, say, here in Rochester, North Star Bar, I have a 3.5 hour show. Well, I got about 90 minutes of originals. What am I going to do for the other 2 hours? Play the originals again? But people start, like, we got Midwestern girls that put us in the top 40 in independent charts. We have She's Everything, which I think is the right time to release, where it's basically about leaving a woman wild and admiring her and loving her for how self-sufficient and wild and strong she is. I just believe in this day and age, it's more prevalent that people understand that women are not the weaker sex. They're just, so they're strong as hell and wild, and love them because they're wild. But people will start picking up on that. Say I play a Dwight Yoakam song, and then I play She's Everything, or I play 50 Years Too Late. We'll have a handful of people come up by the end of the show and ask us where that song came from or who's it by. And it's like Jason said earlier, one bite at a time, one fan at a time. We convert one fan at a time into our music. It takes a while, and that formula never changes unless you get TikTok famous these days. But let's face it, a 47-year-old man's not going to get TikTok famous. It's one bite at a time. It's one fan at a time, and we'll get to where we need to be. As long as your product's good, too. If your music sucks, sorry. I mean, you got to have a good product, which I do believe we have.
I personally can vouch for the product. I mean, I would go see a JT and Gunslinger set anytime we're ever. I mean, I think we've actually gone out of our ways to do that, and not to fluff you, but there's a value in it, and the culture is right, the sound is right, and you put out a product that is worth listening to. So you're greatly appreciated. You can hear JT and the Gunslingers on PT Radio. We just named everything differently tonight. I guess we'll just go with that. WP3 Radio. We got 10 of the originals on. 50 Years Too Late, Bad Grass, Gone for So Long, Gunslinger, It Takes Time, Loretta, Midwestern Girl, Our Town, Pass a Beer, and She's Everything. And so get a chance to pull up WP3 Radio. It's not as cool as just having his downloads. You could do that too, and get to Reverb Nation and go download their stuff and take care of and have it all in one spot. I mean, you do have to listen to other veteran and first responder musicians on WP3 Radio, but again, they're in the mix, and they will forever be in the mix. Wow. Did StreamYard just send you that?
Did you just get distracted, Peterson?
Well, I saw JT's comment here, and I just got done telling them StreamYard won't send them anything, and then
well, I just figured it out.
Fair enough.
Yay.
Frank the Myth.
Yes, sir.
Can you give us our news, please? Tell us all the things we need to know.
Why the heck not? And once again, I don't have my hat. So just pretend that this says press. It's
the press hat.
All right. This will go to the first story. And the first story is about in Japan. You know, Japan is a very male-oriented society. It's been that way for centuries. And now they have their first female prime minister. Senai Takaichi is a star ultra-conservative Japanese politician and a rare woman to rise in the male-dominated hierarchy. She was elected the country's first female prime minister at the age of 64. And she's also the lead of the Liberal Democratic Party that has dominated Japan's post-war politics almost without interruption. She got to where she's at. She has on her heroes list British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, good person to learn stuff through. and former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. She's considered a China hawk and is a regular at the Yasukuni Shrine, which, according to China and the two Koreas and other Asian countries in the area, is Japan's World War II monument that honors the aggression of Japan in the war. Well, let's hope that they keep that under wraps. But that was the big news story that I wanted to start out with. I thought that was really interesting that a woman finally got to be prime minister in Japan. Now, on to our next story. I'll try to keep the politics out of this like usual. There was supposed to be a meeting between President Trump and Vladimir Putin, but our president decided to cancel the meeting because he said, and I quote, "I don't want a wasted meeting." And I think he's getting a little tired of the way that Russia doesn't want to play and come on board and join the peace talks and actually have a ceasefire. So they decided to just cancel the meeting. Well, since I logged this in as one of the stories, Russia's answer to this is to pop off a couple of their nuclear capable missiles, which they weren't very happy with not having a meeting. One of them was launched from the sea out of a submarine, and the other one was ground launched. So there's a lot of saber rattling going on, and hopefully we can end the war in the Ukraine and get back to the business of rebuilding the country. But for right now, everything's still where it was. On to story 3, another story that involves our country and Australia. So there's been a lot of news lately that China is trying to corner the market on earth minerals, which are very important and strong magnets and other things. And Australia evidently has a huge resource in their country for these rare earth resources. And they signed a deal with the United States, which is going to equal about $8.5 billion that allows the U.S. to secure the rare earth minerals that are in Australia. And this was brought about because China was starting to place restrictions on the use of those minerals, and even going so far as saying that other countries would require approval from China to export magnets containing even the smallest trace of rare earth minerals from China. So now the game is on, and it's an effort to try to curb China's influence in that area. And in our last, my favorite category, I can't believe this really happened. The island nation of Cyprus, and we're back to the animal issues again. It seems like we had rats and squirrels and everything else. Well, now there's a cat problem in Cyprus, and evidently this problem has been around for thousands of years. It's estimated that in Cyprus, there's more than one cat per person in the country. The population of the country is about 1 million, and it's expected that there's probably 1.2 or 1.3 million cats in Cyprus. And they have a problem that they're trying to take care of. So they're trying to do sterilization programs, but the cats just won't stand still. So it's been a little hard. They're trying to do stuff like put chemicals into their food and other things, but it's very expensive. They don't have the budget for it. So now they've come to grips with it being a real problem, and they've increased the budget by more than twofold. So they think with 300,000 euros annually, they may be able to finally put a clamp on the growth of the cats. And we'll watch that and see if that works out. But like I said, it was a long-term problem, and they unearthed a burial site that was over 9,500 years old of a Neolithic village on the island of Cyprus. And what did they find in the village? They found the bones of human remains. And what was next to the human remains? That's right, cat bones. So even 9,500 years ago, these folks were very close with the feline population. And that's all the news there is for today.
Why is it so hard to control these cats? Cats are controlled in my area.
Yeah, but if you have 300,000 more cats than people, how many mice can there be?
Oh boy. There's ways to do this, folks. There's ways.
Hey, get glue traps.
Yeah.
What are you working on right now, JT?
As far as music, or
whatever you want to share with us.
Well, right now working on getting the moderate majority of Minnesota party off the ground. I know politics is supposed to be a dirty word sometimes, but the two-party system doesn't work. It's broken. Has been for 100 plus years. And most of us don't fall into the category left or right anymore. We believe we fall into what we call common sense. You know, I mean, if it sounds right, if it looks right, it's right. It's moral. It's moral. There's no gray area in the way people think. You don't have to be absolutely everything left, everything right. It's impossible. So that's what we're doing here. That's the biggest thing I got going on besides building muscle cars and then the album with the band. Keeps me pretty busy. Still doing shows. I started picking up more acoustic shows, and the band's going to do, once we hit the album release, we're going to be playing as much as we did before COVID. So other than that, just trying to enjoy life, get out on the motorcycle. I don't own anything that's less than 20 years old. So I got a 95 Road King that I'm going to redo this winter. It's affectionately known as the meth bike.
Nope.
And only because of a few owners ago, there was some work done to it, which you could tell somebody was not in a good place at that point in time. So I'm me being a painter and a body guy and a mechanic all in one. Gonna make her a nice fast Evo engine and a nice custom paint job for next summer.
Do you have an affection towards the brand of bike?
I just raced with Harleys. That's I mean, I know there's other bikes that are more efficient, don't break down as much, but it's what I grew up with. It's what I know. And then being in an MC, which is called Killer Man's Sons, it's all 75th Ranger Regiment Rangers. You had to be in 75th Ranger Regiment to be in it. And having MC culture is you have to have an American-made bike. Yes, there's other ones, but there's always been Harley since 1903, and it's just.
I get it. I am affectionate towards an American-made brand, and I'm a huge Indian fan, and so that's what sits in my garage. And
and we have guys with Indians. We do
sure.
Victories. You know, it's
not many with victories anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
If they held on to them,
bikes, so they're by bylaws, they're okay. It's just I was raised by old school 70s bikers. The only Indians that I ever seen those guys have were the original Indians that came out, back when Harley was doing their thing in the 20s, 30s. things like that. I mean, those are the only Indians until Indian came back, and then I saw the old guys like, nope. I mean, there's a few of them that buy the new Indian, but they got that Harley mentality that they've always grown up with when they were young.
I get it. It was Harley for years and years and years. It really was. And so I get it. I just I've ridden both, and I call me soft. I'll be soft. I don't like the rigidity of the Harley line, and that's.
Let's be honest. Goldwing is the most comfortable, reliable bike ever to be made, and now they have AC reverse. Pretty soon they're going to have autopilot and a big screen TV. I mean, those. I'll never ride one, but I know they are the most reliable bike on the market and the most comfortable. But I will take being uncomfortable in my grave before I own one.
Sure.
Closest thing I got to an Indian motorcycle is a cowboy hat.
Frank,
Yes,
you can get a cowboy hat, but you can't get a press hat. What the hell's wrong with you?
Who? What?
You can get a cowboy hat, but you can't get a press hat to do your little shtick.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. Leave me alone.
I will definitely take care of you, Frank. So what's the music world doing for you right now, JT?
I'm seeing. So we played certain music when we started out called Red Dirt Country. It's Texas, Oklahoma. It's now popular with the younger generation, like Zach Bryan, Whiskey Myers. Now that Tombstone came out with a bunch of artists like Blackberry Smoke, Whiskey Myers, Ryan Bingham. That was the music we were playing when we started 10 years ago, and nobody knew what it was. So we play our originals, and we play Blackberry Smoke and Whiskey Myers because it's just solid Southern rocky music that doesn't have the genre anymore. It's like reincarnation of Leonard Skinner, Molly Hatchet type of music. Black Crowes are a similar band, and everybody thought it was a totally original show because they didn't know the songs. And now the younger generation, God, I'm old. The young kids, the whippersnappers, they're singing along with songs we've been playing for a decade, and it's nice to see. So that's really what the music world is doing for me. We've stuck to our guns basically of what we were going to do, and now it's finally paying off.
I appreciate you calling me a whippersnapper, a young guy, because that's Uncle Lucius and Whiskey Myers, and they're just like they're of the earth. They're the whiskey and cigar, and you can smell the leather in their song, and just the down to earth Bingham coming off of Yellowstone and his stuff, and just killing it. I love listening to all those guys, and that's again, you get that soulful voice out of the JT Thompson crew and what they're doing there. So if I can't sell these guys, man, you got to get out there and get their stuff, man, because you're missing out. It's which one you want to do next?
Oh, what do you got for a list, sir? Oh, so I did send Loretta.
Yep.
Good story about Loretta. Townes Van Zandt wrote that song. And in the industry, we have things called mechanical rights, where I can get the rights from their camp or whoever's bought the masters, basically, for the rights to do anything with the song, get their okay, and then I register it, and I got to pay, depending on sales, unit sales and CD sales and whatnot. But anyway, I got the mechanical rights to Loretta from Townes Van Zandt's kids, and who Townes Van Zandt is, for those who don't know, he wrote Poncho and Lefty that Willie Nelson covered and made famous, and he was one of America's great songwriters that if you don't know, you're missing out. So Townes Van Zandt's camp gave us the rights to it, and I reworked it, and this is going to be one of our follow-up radio single. Go ahead and play the Loretto one that I sent you today. That is another live version from a different show. But really proud of this one, and to be able to be even associated in any way with Townes Van Zandt is just one of my dreams. I mean, anybody in Texas is going to know who Townes Van Zandt is. Anybody that loves outlaw music and songwriting, they're going to know. It's just, but the way I do it versus how Townes Van Zandt did it, they're totally two opposite sides of the spectrum. I rearranged it so we could put it on radio and put our flair on it, basically.
Outstanding. This is JT and the Gunslingers with Loretta.
Well, Loretta, she's a barroom girl, wears those heavens on her sleeves, dances like a diamond shines, tells me lies I love to believe. Her age is always 22, but laughing eyes of hazel hue. Spends my money like waterfalls, loves me like I need her to. Well, Loretta, won't you say to me, JT, put your guitar on. Take another shot of booze, play a sad and wailing song. Well, Loretta, won't be gone for long. Keep your dancing slippers on. Keep me on your mind a while. I'm coming home, babe, to make you smile. Hey, yeah. Sweetest at the break of day, prettiest in that setting sun. She don't cry when I can't stay, maybe after I'm gone. Well, Loretta, won't be gone for long. Keep your dancing boots on. Keep me on your mind a while. I'm coming home, babe, to make you smile. Hey, yeah. My guitar plays a melody, my guitar sings Loretta's fine. Long and crazy, wild and free, but I can have her anytime. Well, Loretta, won't be gone for long. Keep your dancing the slippers on. Keep me on your mind a while, honey. I'm coming home, babe, to make you smile. girl wears those 7s on her sleeve. Thank you.
That is JT and the Gunslingers, Loretta. What's one thing in your vision of JT and the Gunslingers you want to accomplish before it's all over with?
Show with Blackberry Smoke, which I used to be friends with Britt Turner on Instagram because he loves cars or loved cars. He passed on last year, and you think I'd have been able to get that done, but I don't. I just enjoyed conversing with him about cars and music, and those people that can help you out. Sometimes you just don't ask them because you don't feel like it's the thing to do. Just enjoy it for what it is and not try to get ahead type of thing. Unless they offer type of, somebody offers help in that industry, I will take it. But if I consider them a friend, I'm not going to badger them and say, hey, why don't you get us to play with you? Type of stuff, because maybe they don't look at us like we look at us. They're like, nah, you don't fit with us, type of thing. That's one thing. I know my boys have always, like Todd and Jeff, has always had their careers and then the band secondary. What I wanted to do for them is to be able to say a big act is coming through in the upper Midwest. I want those boys, us, to be the go-to band to open for Blackberry Smoke, Whiskey Myers. To be on the bill, they need somebody. We're going to travel to Chicago. We're going to travel to anywhere in Wisconsin, upper Midwest. And that's the biggest thing I've always wanted, because then they get the sense of touring with Todd and Jeff being the monster musicians that they are. They wouldn't have to interrupt their daily lives to be able to make that happen. And, yeah, that's it. I always said once I win a Grammy, I'm going to hang it up. But, not to talk any trash about the Grammy Awards. It's just authenticity does not seem to be the priority.
I appreciate, we work with, I wouldn't say closely with an awards group, and we've been blessed by some of the things we've got to do with them, but then it is also the conversation, there's someone standing on the other side or sitting on the other side of the desk that gets to make a decision. And I don't always agree, and that's the way life is. We don't always agree with what that decision is. And it's tough. We've made it. We have some, there's some organizations and radios out there that, they'll create a list of all the musicians, and then they'll do, who do you want to listen to? And I'm like, we're never doing that. We're not. We want to give fair and equal play to everybody. Everyone should. If you're putting it in, and we know JT, if you put in the time into it, we will play your stuff. And I don't want to get caught up into the prom queen, prom king scenario where you're just voting and then you vote and everyone, it's not accurate. It's not accurate information. It's nice. It's fun. It's great. It's grand. I get excited when the People's Patriot Project, we got your 6 at 6 ranks very high in 1st through 6th on good pods. That's legit. That's people listening. Those are downloads. I don't have a problem when you're accruing or accounting based on downloads. That is a true factor right there. But if someone's listening to the material and saying these are the people that we're going to give the award to, that's not a clear factor. It's the downloads that is a factor, in my opinion. And you can say you're full of shit, Mark. I said one. Andrew, mark that down.
You're fine. You're fine.
Well, you got to look also at record labels that have ruled what most people listen to or what they're given.
Mm-hmm.
They are out for one thing and one thing only, and that is profit. They could not care less what the music says, does, or is, as long as it's. And then the artists in turn have these horrible deals with the record company. What record companies are is basically a bank. You can look up a Jelly Roll video. He explains it perfectly, where they give you $200,000 and you have to pay that back before you see $1 out of your own music. But here's the thing is, like, this is a generous deal. Your contract you're going to get with them is a 70-30 split, 70 to them, 30 to you. So you have to pay that $200,000 out of your 30%. So you don't even see your 30% until that $200,000 is paid back. So you make zero money. They take 100% until that $200,000 is paid. But unfortunately, you have touring costs, you have recording costs, you have merchandise costs. So you keep borrowing money from them, and they just keep giving you money and keep taking all your cash. So it's one of those things. They decide everything. And artists are tired of it, which you see the growth of Whiskey Myers. Whiskey Myers, never hear him on the radio. You'll never hear him on your local country station, your local rock station. Zach Bryan, same thing. Blackberry Smoke. And these are guys, Cody Jinks, there's a huge example. You're never going to hear them on Celestial Radio. They're doing just fine musically. And so that shows you that record companies are obsolete, but yet we're still stuck in that mode of record companies controlling Nashville. Record companies basically controlling what's on the radio. It is difficult to get on the radio. I've been fortunate to have people in my corner, such as Warrior Project Radio and like local DJs, like here in Rochester, up in the cities, Wisconsin, all over. I was getting played on 19 radio stations because I go to those radio stations, make friends with the DJ or the program director and say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're about. Then they see the quality of the product and the recording, and they're like, yeah, we can spin this. You want to come in for an interview? So there's 19 radio stations at one point, and then I got taken off because on some of them because they became the big conglomerate, like Clear Channel or Town Square Media owns them, and they're like, oh no, we're doing this. Oh, like the DJ's morning show is now a syndicated radio show out of Nashville instead of having your local drive time DJ or your morning DJ type of thing. And it's those big entities that try to control everything, or do control, not even try, they do. So that's what people get spoon-fed, basically, if you don't search and reach out for stuff, because it's easy to digest. Here, this is the music you should be listening to. You're like, oh, okay, I don't have to work at finding anything.
Truth. And you
sounds a lot like writing books.
Yep.
Is it the same way in books?
Yeah, publishing contracts are just a nightmare.
I did have a friend that was in Afghanistan with me. He's an author as well. He wrote this one about, based off of this young lady getting cleft lip surgery in Afghanistan, and did pretty well. And then I haven't really talked. I should pick his brain more on what how his publishing goes and stuff, because I guess I would never expect. I thought I know it's hard to get a publishing deal, but I don't know the ins and outs.
Oh yeah, it's so bad. My first book won Best Military Book in 23. And you can't get a publishing deal without having an agent. And the agents are so picky, and you can send out 1,000 query letters trying to get an agent, and you might not even get 2 responses. And it's like, I need help.
Yeah, and it's hard when the gatekeepers keep the gate shut tight. It is.
Oh yeah.
When you have to, like, I was my own booking agent when we were in what I would say our heyday right before COVID. And even with Midwestern CMA nominations, radio play, the resume that we have as festivals and opening act for massive artists, I could hardly get booked in the places I deemed that we needed to do the next step or should be playing it. It was, it's the next step was to get a booking agent, and they're the same way as obviously a publishing agent.
And there goes more percent.
Yeah, and there goes more percent, and I'd send stuff out, and they just wouldn't hear back. I can't tell you how many. I started my own record label because of it, because with my own record label, which is called Sua Sponte Records, which is the 75th Ranger Regiment. Our motto is Sua Sponte, of our own accord, of their own accord, is what it means. So I was like, that's perfect, because I'm doing this on my own. When you send out promos for radio stations, if I send it out JT Thompson, they're just like, okay, toss that in the garbage. If you see it coming from an official letterhead of a record company, they're more apt to play it or call you or contact you on that. And I know agents have done this work, and that's why unsolicited material is never really looked at because of copyright issues and whatnot, and law enforcement, or not law enforcement, lawsuits that stem from unsolicited material. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, publishing's the same way. I feel bad for you guys. It's it's brutal. I mean, then what do you do?
I had somebody tell me one time that I should self-publish my books, and they used Taylor Swift as an example, and said, well, Taylor Swift self-publishes, and she sells hundreds of thousands of copies. And it's like, Taylor Swift has 1 million or 2 million person fan club. I mean, it's not the same.
It's a little easier when you have a few million people behind you.
Yeah.
To cut out the middleman, but the middleman is what got her there.
I got like 34 fans on Amazon, and probably 29 of them are family members.
Fair enough. Well, that's why I think I was informed that Facebook is the old person's social media.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that sucks, because we got 10,000 fans on Facebook. I got 200 fans on TikTok and like 200 fans on Instagram. Like, well, I got to figure out the ins and outs of that.
Well, I got 15,000 connections on LinkedIn, but try putting something on there about getting marketing for your book, and it's like, this is a business page. This isn't for doing that. It's like, this is my business.
That's crazy.
Marketing? You think
it's just nuts.
Aren't there marketing people on LinkedIn? Like, that's a perfect place to find them.
Oh yeah, but this is the other thing I found out. I'm sorry, Mark. I know we're
good. No, this is content, baby. You love it.
I spent probably $5 or $6 grand marketing my first book, and I can't attribute a single book sale to any of that. So I figured out with my second book, it's easier for me to buy 100 copies of it and send it to people I know all across the United States for free. I get more traction out of that than any marketing or advertising I've ever done.
That is so funny. We did an event down in Texas, and we were begged to do a radio promotion with this radio station.
Yeah.
And of course, it cost us the lion's share of our advertising costs. And we get down there, and the radio station shows up for the event. We have all of our musicians there. Everyone's rocking and rolling. There is not one person in that crowd that came from that radio station and those dollars spent on that radio station.
No.
Not one person. And then you get to have the conversation as well as, like, you know what? We're a nonprofit helping veterans and first responders, and you are taking from our plates to accommodate those needs. So you can lay your big fat heads on the pillows of freedom daily and just whatever. I don't expect a handout. That's not my style. We're here to play the game. We're here to have a conversation, but when it's force fed you, and then at the end there's no outcome to it. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? They took it was a good chunk. I want to say it was $6,000.
No, 35.
Oh well, half.
That was our discount.
Oh, our discount. Yeah.
Well, I'm so tight now that I get stuff all the time in email about we can advertise your book, we'll highlight your book, and I listen to them all. And at the end, I say, okay, this is going to cost me $300. I make between $3 and $4 a book in royalties. So can you guarantee me I'm going to sell 100 books from your product?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh no, we can't do that. Sorry, I can't help you.
Yeah. That's the amount of calls and conversations I have, because they like what we look like on paper, but then they want everything up front. They want all the cash out, and then there's no follow through because there's no commitment to the follow through. There's no commitment for the get the job done. It's we'll take your money. We like what you're doing. Boom. So anyway, we got to make this about JT and what he's doing. JT, this big build, what kind of car was it?
1971 Blazer.
I almost offended you and said I thought it was a Bronco, but it is a Blazer. I have seen this. I have seen the picture.
We do not do Ford at my shop.
Fair enough. Amen, brother.
We like cars that run. I did enough walking in the military.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just going to send you a promo photo of it for you.
Yeah. It is a sharp looking rig, and I've seen it once, and it was in a quick pass by, but Andrea showed me. Is that the biggest build you've ever done?
Yes. My Ranger buddy and I are $200,000 into it at a minimum. I would venture to say more. And by far the biggest undertaking I've ever done. And also putting myself on the line and my Ranger buddy on the line too, type of thing. The Blazer market in auctions, I don't have the name that a lot of the builders have. They were getting $400,000 for these trucks. Jeez. And I modeled the build after them, after what they were doing. So we have a vehicle that's on par with them. But as far as marketing goes, I don't have the name to market.
It's the same conversation we just had.
Yeah, exactly. It's marketing. Marketing is the biggest scam in American history as far as the consumer goes. I mean, look at your pharmaceutical commercials. Tell you all the great things, and then little snippet really quick of what really can go wrong. And
you'll bleed to death, but use our product.
Yep. And so that's why I'm not looking at getting $400,000 out of it. We get $250,000 out of a $200,000 vehicle. 10% goes to the Hard Rock Charlie Foundation. We break even, basically.
Sure.
After everything's said and done, I get paid for the parts. Nason gets paid for the parts. I get a little bit of labor back. And that's me taking a severe labor discount just to keep the lights on type of thing. No profit type of thing. And so I'm realistic about it. It's a great vehicle. We went brand name parts, high-end parts. We bought $54,000 chassis from Roadster Shop Chassis out of Illinois, which is the creme de la creme of aftermarket chassis. We had a brand new 550 horsepower LS3 built, custom roll bar. That's because we Ranger themed the vehicle. It has our distinguished unit insignia. We named it after Hard Rock Charlie was the company I was in at 1st Ranger Battalion. And our motto on our CP door was cry havoc and let slip the dog's war. I'm a Shakespeare fan, and I can't believe I just brain farted that. But so we named the vehicle Cry Havoc, and it's in the floor mats. It's totally Ranger themed, but not to a point where if somebody's driving it who buys it, another Ranger or military person is going to call them out for being stolen valor or something. But yeah, it was. I will undertake a project like that again. I'll just lower the overhead this time. Basically, if I can cut Hard Rock Charlie a $25,000 check for what they're doing it's specifically for Rangers, that's worth it in the end. All the labor, all the stress, to help my brothers out. That's all I care.
We had a vision for we call it the urban assault vehicle, but basically what it was going to be was a troop carrier type vehicle that kind of had all the bells and whistles that we would take and drive up every parade route we could with veteran and first responders in the back and just showcase what WP3 does and what WP3 radio does. And we actually had a national company come to us and say, we love this idea. We'll build it for you. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome, man. We spent hours and hours and hours, planning details, this and that, and talking directly with the owner and the national build guy that this is a televised process here. And we're like, oh man. And I'm telling our inner circle and I'm showing them pictures and they're sending us renderings and they're doing all this stuff. And the verbiage that they were using started to change on us. And there was no contract signed, but then all of a sudden a contract needed to be signed. And I'm like, you're asking me for the funding on this. Not that I want again, we're game, but that's not what originally was discussed.
Yeah. I just sent you that picture, by the way.
I just saw it and I'm loading her up.
The company, what was the end game? Were they donating labor?
They didn't. No, we cropped it. They wanted us to spend $300,000 in this build, and I'm like, that was never the conversation we had. You know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and who gets to. And I go, there's nothing in WP3 that says that we can accommodate those resources. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I can build you a hell of a vehicle for $300,000.
Is that what if we had the community back us on and check this bad boy out, folks? That's that custom roll bar right there. Tight.
Yeah, custom automatic running boards come out of those Nerf bars there from AMP Research. I ended up cutting them down and custom fitting them. They're modern. It's modern convenience with the old school look is basically what it is.
Absolutely. How'd I get on the pretty line?
I disappeared. I just poofed.
Only the pretty people get to be on top. That's the way it works, right? Oops.
Yeah, so that's in doing charity vehicles is always such a finicky process unless you're like Ronald McDonald House. We tried to go to Barrett Jackson last year, but they denied us a full charity vehicle because we're not a big enough charity that we're working with. We have the product that sells. We have a proven product that sells at their auctions for $300,000 to $400,000, and they went with a bigger charity. Meekum, which we're doing in January at Kissimmee, has given us. They have their own charity they work with, and they have made an exception for us with what we have. Frank Meekum there and Dana Meekum are treating us very well. Where they're doing what Barrett Jackson does on their charity vehicles, Meekum never does. It's just, the business. They've made an exception to waive commission fees and make it a full charity, and it's at no reserve, just like anywhere else. So I'm proud to be going with Meekum. That will help out a veteran charity get this vehicle sold so we can get some money in Hard Rock Charlie's pockets to fund. What we end up doing is every year we jump out of a World War II C-47 aircraft, the Tico Bell, that flew in World War II. and then we usually jump into a lake or water because we're old and our knees can't handle it. But yeah, so we'll be doing Meekum, and then hopefully that blazer sells, and we'll be on to the next project.
You're still jumping out of planes?
Yeah. I love it. We used to jump out of planes in the middle of Florida, and the first time we did that, God, I can't remember the town, but the lake, one of my ranger buddies posted pictures of all the alligators in the lake that morning. It's like, yeah, this is cool. This will do.
Oh, boy.
I'm still a ranger at heart. I mean, we're the guys you send to go through brick walls.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's the next big thing for JT and the Gunslingers? Where you want to go next?
The album is the biggest thing. I'm going to press vinyl on the album. So we're going to have a full length 12-song album. We're going to have vinyl just because I want to be able to hang a full length album in my studio. And I know there's a lot of people that do like the sound of vinyl still because it is. Digital music is great as far as an avenue of being able to get it out there. It's awesome, but to the human ear, it's too perfect. Everything is perfect with these digital workstations. Like I use Logic Pro, and I can make anything sound like anything I want. And if I'm off 2 cents, which is cents are tunings, like it's a more finite tuning. Like if I'm 5 cents off, low, flat, or sharp, I can adjust that in my digital workstation. In Logic Pro, people use Pro Tools as the industry standard usually, but I love Logic Pro. I was trained on that. It's too perfect. Like they have, like there's this plugin you can use and it's digital, but it makes it sound like it's a cassette tape. Like the cassette tapes used to sound. It's called Kramer tape. There's plugins to make it sound like vinyl because the imperfections make it sound more natural for the human ear. It'd be like reading a digital book. You know, it's awesome that it's right there on my phone. I can sit there and read it on the road and I don't have to carry a physical book with me. But you know what you lose out of that is the physical touch in turning those pages. The smell of the book. You know, it's just those things that make the reading experience that much better than staring at your phone, reading the book, you know, or doing the audiobook thing. Audiobook's great for me because I can sit there and stay in the car and listen to the book I want to listen to, but the whole experience isn't there. So that's why vinyl is such a important part. It's physical.
Where do you guys record?
Last time we recorded, well, our EP that we put out, we recorded at the Rochester Community Technical College. The head of the music department there was in Nashville for 25 years and got a Grammy for tracking in a roundabout way. There's a lot of things, but basically he's a Grammy-winning engineer, and he's the head of the RCTC program where I started my musical degree at. And I did a retaining wall for him, and he recorded our EP for us. And then we did. There's an artist out there from Rochester called Young Gravy. He's a white hip hop artist. He records out at Carpet Booth Studios, Zach Zern. That's where we did our last single recording. Right now, I have 3 studios I'm looking at, depending on availability and just the feel. I'm a big vibes guy these days. Like, I don't mean to sound all hippie woo-woo stuff, but
no, I like it.
If it doesn't feel comfortable, I don't walk in a space and just feel at ease. I'm not going to play at ease, for one, if I'm in talking with the engineer, because my degree is in audio engineering and music theory. So I know what I'm doing in a studio. Now, if an engineer and a guy that's a / engineer producer want to tell me what to do with my music and don't want to listen to exactly what I want to do, because there's a certain way we need to do the things that we do live. I want them to transfer into the albums because we have an energy live. It needs to come out in the album. Most people don't or can't replicate that. So they start adding things and overproducing the album, and then it just gets cluttered and it's not that raw emotion. That's why Zach Bryan does so well. Zach Bryan is one, a hell of a songwriter for as young as he is. Two, the music he puts out is raw. It's not overproduced. There's multiple, like, Jason Isbell. Anybody ever looks up Jason Isbell? He's an amazing Americana artist, but one of probably the best songwriter of this generation, or my generation, our generation. Sturgill Simpson, same way, but it's all raw. It's not over polished Morgan Wallen radio country. And that's why it's mostly not going to be on the radio, because it's not that overproduced music. And that's what I'm looking for. And to get that out of a producer and an engineer, it's tough to do. So that's why I always keep options open. Like I said, looking at 3 different studios, depending on availability. And
do you want to keep it local?
Always keep it local. We're going to record in Minnesota. It just depends on if I'm recording in Rochester or up by the metro.
All right. That answers my questions.
Good.
Hey, JT, is any of your stuff available on CDs?
Yeah, actually, I just ran out of CDs last month, so I need to do another run. I mean, we're obviously on every streaming platform and music site out there, as far as Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, and whatnot, whatever else is out there. But yeah, I like having physical copies, so I got to do another run.
We'll wait till post show. We have some friends that, but it doesn't sound like it's a good fit right now. But I at least want to pass it by you. That help in that recording world piece.
I got you.
Totally get it. And I honestly, the fact that you say that you want to know the feel, you want to know that is 1,000% what I think music should be about. And because it is about the emotion, about the feel, about the smell. I think you can still smell through music, in my opinion. And it's like, we'll bring back memories, we'll bring back experiences. I've been working on a song for a minute called Whiskey Slow Dance, because it's all the things that are compiled in life all are around some kind of a dance.
Yep.
And to have someone sitting at the bar at the end of their kind of their life run and do that, people can steal my idea. That's fine. Run it. Chill. You do the song, folks. It's good, but I see this bourbon glass with like a little cigar smoke, wafting out of the top of it. And it's just like, oh, that is the feel I want to feel. Who's going to do it? Who's going to create it? What's it going to look like? How's it smell? How does it feel? What does it look like? All those things. So, let's get to our last song, 50 Years Too Late.
This is another Mechanical Rights song. So I had a friend a while ago. He's a little bigger now. His name's Drake White, and he's a great country artist. He was on Southern Ground artist label. That was Zach Brown's label, where it was strictly Southern artists. Him, Blackberry Smoke, Zach Brown, and he used to tour with Zach Brown a lot. So first time I met him, that was at a Blackberry Smoke concert, I believe. And just sat down and talked to him. He had this song, 50 Years Too Late, and I just took to it. And then we started covering it, and then I changed the things that I wanted to change and change the feel. Drake is got a phenomenal voice and is a phenomenal songwriter. I threw my version by him. He goes, run with that. So This is the live version. The first recorded version we did is unfortunately overproduced in my mind. This is the live feel of it, so this is a little different than what's out there available, but we are re-recording this one on this album and making sure we get our point across as far as the feel and what we wanted to do with this song. So this is a Drake White song that I was able and honored to do my way and put it out the Gunslinger way.
This is JT and the Gunslingers, 50 Years Too Late.
I like spring and dogs and rusty screen doors, candlelight on creaky wood floors, a good sunrise, fireflies in a jar, banjo ringing through the pines, way I feel on homemade wine and jug fishing under a sky full of stars. Said I'm okay, yeah, I'm alright. I wish this world would move slower, or I could go back in time. 'Cause I'm a down home country boy, I don't need nothing, just enough to get me by. I was raised at an early age, when you shake a man's hand, you look him square in the eye. I'm a real cool old school, don't lie to me, fool, ain't a damn thing about me fake. I'm a modern day John Wayne, got my daddy's last name, born 50 years too late. Yes, sir! Whatever happened to an honest day's work? Sweating your ass off in a flannel shirt. It's a fast-paced rat race, all give and no take. Who's gonna finish first? These days it's safe to say that a damn dog's got more rights. 'Cause the administration's trying to rule the population. Gotta stand up, we gotta fight. I don't complain, I take it all in stride. But it seems this whole world, they changed them here overnight. 'Cause I'm a down home country boy, I don't need nothing, just enough to get me by. I was raised at an early age, when you shake a man's hand, you look him square in the eye. I'm a real cool old school, don't lie to me, fool, ain't a damn thing about me fake. I'm a modern day John Wayne, got my daddy's last name, born 50 years too late. Yes, sir! Boy, I don't need nothing, just enough to get me by. I was raised at an early age, when you shake a man's hand, you look him square in the eye. I'm a real cool old school, don't lie to me, fool, ain't a damn thing about me fake. I'm a modern day John Wayne, got my daddy's last name, born 50 years too late. Yeah. Whoa, oh, oh. Whoa. Rusty screen doors, candlelight on creaky wood floors, a good sunrise and fireflies in a jar. I'm JT, these are the Gunslingers. Thanks for having us here.
That is JT and the Gunslingers. 50 years. Too late. Do you know who Hank Barb is and Three Beards by chance?
No, I do not.
I was getting a little Three Beards vibe in that song. Miss Eichmann, your mic.
I'd rather not be heard, I guess. No, yeah, it is kind of Hank Barb. Hank.
I mean, it's definitely JT Thompson and the Gunslingers, but it was I think you'd get a kick out of Hank Barb. He's a veteran. Actually has been active over in the old Ukraine-Russian event over there, and goes over there and helps support over there. But you got that smoky, driving. We're collabing. You're gonna do my bourbon slow dance song, whiskey slow dance. We're gonna.
All right, I'm in.
We'll get her. You know, anything can be. I know. I won't even bring it up. But we've had some people pass some songs to us lately, and I'm like, this is too good to be true. And I reach out, and it's too good to be true. It's weird. You can tell, and I'm just like, when they send you the actual video and it has a certain website involved with it, I'm like, we'll pass. Thanks. We like to stick to the grassroots stuff, and it's now what I do in my classroom. That's another thing altogether. The kids love it, but and it's a fun tool to use, but it shouldn't be an offshoot of putting out a product either. My opinion.
Hank
Well,
Barb,
we're at that point. What's that,
B-A-R-B-E? Hank Barb, like B-A-R-B-E, is that it?
Hank Barb, yep.
Yep,
Right,
Barbie. What's his grass?
Three Beards.
Three Beards. There's a song about grass is a good one. That would be similar.
I almost think that they covered this song as well for some reason.
Gasoline and Grass?
Yeah, that's a good one.
We're at that point where it's time to, sadly and unfortunately, shut down our evening. It's always been a blessing to have JT in our network. And again, it's always nice to reach out and know when he's doing events in our space that we can get there and promote, support, and share the information on social media and in all of our networks. Absolute blessing having you here tonight. Thanks, JT.
Great to be here. I always love what you guys are doing, and it's always great to see you guys when I'm in your neck of the woods.
Well, we'd like to do more. There is something that we got that, I mean, I don't want to oversell it, and we've been working really hard, and I actually was doing some game planning during the show. Yeah, doing a couple, 2, 3, 4 things at once, and it's this, which I do have. We had a cancellation for next weekend's guest, but we still have a musician, but we got a new one. It's not a new one. I just shoved one up from the back, and I'll share that with when we need to. Anyway, sorry. That when you're doing more than one thing at a time, then you don't get to have clear thought and speech. That's the way it works. Okay,
so one thing at a time. I think Adam just called you old, and then you thanked him, JT.
Yeah, because we're old. Middle-aged. The average life expectancy of the United States male is 79. I'm 47. I'm past that middle age.
Yeah.
Hold on now. 79. Holy crap.
That's the average life expectancy in the United States.
Oh, huh.
Well, I might as well start signing all my stuff away.
Put it in a trust.
Well, if you need a name or something, Frank, let me know. We got people that can.
Yeah, I get these credit cards, so you can have those.
We're wrapping up the evening, and we'd like to see. We get more banter when we have both our guests and our musician on, but it's all good, and there's still amazing things to learn from each other and growth. And so we come to this point at the end of the show where we have our final thoughts. What's our gift to the rest of the world, and what did we learn from this evening? There should be something. Data drives our world, and you should, if we're doing here and doing something that isn't creating growth, then there's no reason to be doing it. I actually think that JT had a comment about like that earlier in the show. But I do also, if you're sitting there doing nothing, then they expect to have nothing in return. That's the bottom line. But we want to make sure that we're reaching as many as we can. Make sure, well, I won't say my check six part because I'll do that later. Frank, go ahead and give us your final thoughts, brother.
Oh, let me get situated in this stupid big chair again. It occurs to me over and over again that the guests we have, whether they be the musicians or the other guests that we bring on, we all face things that we have to work through. Nothing comes easy, and it never has for us. Even anybody who's served, anybody who's been a first responder, you just didn't wake up one day and boom, you're that. You had to work for it. You had to push through things. You had to make achievements. You had to bring out the best of who you are to be a better person. And I think sometimes we forget after we take the uniform off that we have that in us to achieve the things that we want to do. So my thought for today is never stop moving forward, never stop believing in your ability to overcome obstacles and reach the goals that you set for yourself.
I like it. Yep. JT.
That's a hard follow-up because he's right. I mean, that's a good takeaway. And just to piggyback off of that, it's I'm a natural go against the grain type of man, I guess. Even in the military, if there is something that I did not agree with as far as an order or what was happening to my men, I would butt heads with officers quite often as an E6 to get the point across that it's not right what they're doing. And if I would have gave up on that, those guys would have suffered more. It's, just because you're struggling at something, it could be as simple as struggling to fold laundry. But if you do nothing, nothing happens. It's not about, we tend to look at the biggest picture of the end goal. We don't look at the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We see people successful, but we don't see how they got there. And comparison is the thief of joy, is the quote I'm thinking of. You have your own journey. Their journey is theirs. And if you give up, if it gets too hard and you don't think you can handle it, then you're never going to get there. And then you're going to try to do a different journey and go in a different direction. You have to keep one foot in front of the other and just keep going. That's the general, besides all the banter back and forth and music and everything, Frank wouldn't have wrote his books and got an agent to get published. Even though that's one of the most, this is difficult as getting a record deal and getting an agent in that realm. I guess only other thing I learned is don't discount the independents because they'll have a good product like Frank's book, and you don't have to go through the radio channels like you do in music. You check out the independent artists and musicians and people out there, the small business, the little guy, the underdog. Check those guys out.
Love it. Good words. Miss Eichmann.
Yeah, so I can follow both of those. That's GT, you added at the end. That's kind of what I was thinking too, was I mean, that's what we do. We have this radio station of just those who have served that are making music, and we're always, actually, I peruse social media quite often just in search of those people, and there are still new people to meet, even though we have a Rolodex of 250 maybe now. And I was reading your bio actually just earlier today too, and there were some great things on that about music being healing, music being therapy, creating music being therapy, and that all comes together. And then earlier you also said adversity is temporary. So of all the conversations that we had tonight, there was always a little piece of people get in the way, people do this, people don't use common sense. It's all adversity for some of us, but even in stupid little things like they don't, like, you have to get your broken bone set. I tell myself I can do anything for a minute. I can do anything for a minute. And when that minute's done, I can do it again for another minute. And it hurts, but it's only going to hurt for a minute. And then it will hurt for another minute, or it won't. And I'll get through it. And that's kind of simplistic adversity. There are bigger problems in the world, but I think in the big picture, if you keep in mind that adversity doesn't need to stay, and that you can take a step up and do what you need to do to help change the part of your life that you need changed, that'll just make that adversity disappear quicker. So yeah, don't give it up. Don't step back, and keep pushing forward.
Outstanding. Another great evening of conversation, growth, and good music, with just an opportunity to build relationships, to continue to grow, and to meet with someone that we've had in our network for a good chunk of time. It's been years. It's been good years. And it's fun watching, listening, and seeing what's happening on social media. I know not everyone says that, and in regards to JT Thompson and the Gunslingers, and just the opportunity that they have to minister to our community here in Minnesota with their amazing talent, and it is amazing talent. Every weekend's a proud papa moment for me, in that we show the world that there are people willing to build the relationships, do the work, and to make a difference. And JT brought a slew of people to the show tonight in his network that came and just commented and were part of what we're doing. And you are all welcome to come back and be part of any of our weekend experiences with We Got Your 6 at 6. We come every Monday at 16:30 to share. We do what's called the WP3 Weekly Debrief, to share specifically about what the People's Patriot Project is getting done, A, in the state of Minnesota, and B, nationally. We get to do and work in a lot of areas because of the conversations we're willing to have. And there's 86,000 organizations saying that they're helping veterans and first responders right now. And it hurts my heart to tell you that less than 10% of them are actually doing any of the work. And we've had some conversation about, where's the money going? Also, when you have that many organizations fighting for the resources to accommodate those needs, all of us have to have a web page. All of us have to have marketing. All of us have to have social media. All of us. So in a sense, the funding ends up being a little bit misdirected, only in the fact that everyone's doing the same thing we're spending our time, our effort 86,000 times, where we should just come together and just get it done. I've been very bold on our show and said that no person in our country should have food insecurity. No one. We should all be eating a meal during our day. I'm not saying getting fat. I'm just saying we should all have sustenance to keep us alive. I personally don't think that there should be a homeless veteran anywhere within the continental or anywhere else world. If you've served, you should have a place to lay your head. That's what I believe. And I do think it's that easy, personally. I would like people to come on board. We need help. We need resources. Time, talent, and treasure. If you got an extra 20 minutes a week to do some social media posts or to reach out to people that will come on to the show and broadcast, that's all these things can help. Plus table events that we do. A big event coming up for us is the Wreaths Across America Wreath Line Day on December 13th. We have roughly 200,000. I say roughly. There's 300,000 people at rest at Fort Snelling, the third largest national cemetery in the country. A little under 200,000 of those are veterans. Those are the ones we're focusing on. There should be no veteran in our country anywhere that is not remembered, honored, and recognized for their efforts during this time. So December 13th, we'd love for you to be at Fort Snelling, but the reality is we need Wreaths sponsored. I don't know what our number is right now, Miss Eichmann. Do you know our number right offhand?
Yeah, we're at like 44,000 right now, or 4,400. 100.
4,400. Okay. Here's part of the problem, folks. The wreath is a very symbolic symbol. I guess will be redundant here. The wreath is a very symbolic symbol of Christmas. And you know what? In April, May, June, and July, no one's thinking about buying a wreath. I get it. I understand. But these are $17. They get put on the memorials on December 13th. That's the second Saturday of December. And then sometime in February, the Boy Scouts of America come down and help us clean up all those wreaths and get them off the memorial so we can still honor and cherish our amazing, beautiful National Cemetery, Fort Snelling. And there are national cemeteries all over the country. There's 3 in the state of Minnesota. Again, it is critical and essential to honor, remember, and teach about these amazing men and women. Next weekend, same time, same place, 1800 Central Standard Time, we have amazing musical talent of Chaz Evans and the Minnesota chapter of Support the Troops. Paul Ferris will be with us to share the pieces of what he's doing. We are doing a little collab on the side. He works with the Magnus Foundation out of Dayton, Minnesota, with Sean Alderman and a couple other people. We work with Chris Lamont and all those pieces. It is like legitimately the real collaboration conversations I've been having for the last 8 years, but we're getting some more ground. And again, we need more people involved. So all these pieces are in play. Thank you so much for coming and being part of the show. Thank you, JT, for being on as a guest tonight and your amazing musical talent. Thank you, WP3 team, for the work you do behind the scenes and getting all the things done that we get done. And thank you for our amazing viewers and guests. Please like and share and put it out there. You've made us number 1 several times over the last 6 months. We've never slipped out of number 5. So 1 through 5, pretty good on a national level for a nonprofit podcast. Again, the likes, the shares, the people involved, it makes us what we are. and we appreciate you, and that doesn't go unnoticed. Make sure you check your 6 and get all your peeps taken care of, and we will see you when the smoke clears. Patriot Pride. Bow, 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 bow.